Hey guys, it's Chocolate Thunder here, and I thought I would do a tag because I haven't done one in a really long time, and this one looks like a lot of fun. It's the Halloween monster tag, and it's a bit spooky, a bit fun. So I thought, you know what, it's coming up to Halloween, and this year I'm not going to get to celebrate it, so I thought I may as well do a little prompt for this time of year. So the first one is the werewolf. And this question is, how has the hobby transformed you? I've grown to be patient. The weights definitely improve on being patient and, really letting you think things over and making you realise exactly what you want, which is good because before I was kind of just really impulsive and just a bit too impulsive. So it's kind of made me think about money and time and this kind of thing a bit more, which is nice. It's also allowed me to have more of a kind of creative output, or it does most of the time, not lately, but I feel like I'm now starting to get back into it, and I'm feeling more kind of driven to start taking photos, trying new things out, and being inspired by other people because there's some fantastic dolls coming out and around just now, so that's very exciting. The next one is the vampire. The dreadful sun. How do you feel about and cope with yellowing and generally the ageing of these dolls? It's not something that's really bothered me. I don't generally take my dolls outside too much anyway. But I sometimes think that the yellowing and the ageing of dolls is actually just part of it, and it actually kind of sometimes adds a bit of character. And let's be honest, if we worried too much about things like yellowing and getting dirt on them, we wouldn't have the dolls around for very long, and it'd be such a waste of money. So I just try and, enjoy them to the fullest, because they're gonna yellow and they're gonna age, but that's just part of the process. And sometimes I actually think that the older dolls look really, really beautiful, and it's really nice because you get to see just kind of how many lives they've had, especially if it's a doll that's maybe had a couple of owners. It's quite a nice thing, but that's me personally anyway. The next one is Frankenstein's monster. Have you ever modded a doll? Tell us about it. Could you magically try any mod without fear of failure? Would you like to try it? Oh, if you could try any without failure. Okay. I've only ever done little mods, things like adapting heads, head pieces, or like neck joints and maybe like torso joints so that they maybe sit better. Hot glue sueding is a very popular one of mine to make them pose easier. I've tried just a slight eye mod, but it was just to kind of open it up a little bit. It wasn't anything too heavy duty. I did a small mod on my Noble doll head to give her little elf ears. It's only ever been little things like that. I've never tried, like repositioning hands in hot water and stuff, which is something I would really like to do, and I don't think I'd be too worried about failing on that because it seems like a fairly straightforward one. I would love to try out some of the full body mods where you engrave into the body and cut out sections and all this kind of stuff to make it look a bit more, just a bit stranger. But I think it's one of those ones where I'm just a bit too scared to. I'd need to either be given a doll and said that I could try it out and not have to worry about it, because a lot of the sculpts that I want to try it on are far too expensive to just buy just to potentially fail at it. So yeah, I'd love to try that out one day though. Okay, the next one is zombie. Have you ever caught the marketplace virus? Name some of the unplanned purchases that jumped out and infected you. Oh god, I'm one of the worst victims for this. It's mostly wigs and just clothing pieces, thankfully. I have had it occasionally with with dolls and that kind of thing, but none of them actually ended up coming to anything because other people were interested in them. So it'd be things like, maybe like Dolphy Dreams, or maybe like Fairyland ones, or Feeple 60. Feeple 60 was a big one because they had the Zoom head, and I saw a few of the same heads going, and none of them came to anything because it was so popular. There's been odd times with like bodies, but it's only just been kind of like I've been like, oh, I could do with a boy's body, so I've just maybe tried to get one. One of the big ones for me was from Etsy, and it's a art doll posable kind of a wolf, which I was really obsessed with, and I was going to buy him, but he was gone that evening, so it was like, that was not meant to be, just let it go. There's nothing you can do. I think they're the kind of main ones, and it's just been, you know, clothing pieces and other random buys, so nothing too drastic, which is good. The next one is skeleton. Which is your favourite body sculpt? Forget about the heads. So, okay, Fairyland is definitely my favourite for like sort of SD. Unfortunately, I've only really ever bought from them. But when I was at Doll Meets quite a while ago, I really want to go back to Doll Meets again. I got to see some of the other types like Volks and all this kind of thing, and they were amazing. But I just think the Mo line, because it's quite a chunky, substantial doll, it makes me really like them as an SD sculpt. With the, like, I love the Minifee bodies as well. They're really, really well sculpted, especially the Mo. I think the Mo is just one of my favourite sculpts just because of the shape and the hands that you get with it and the legs, and it can be quite a petite doll as well, which is quite nice. So I'll just go with that, I think. Name some dolls that are magical. Seeing them on your dashboard inspires you. Can be general sculpts or specific sculpts owned by talented friends. There are so many. Every time I go onto my newsfeed and I'm just flicking on the train or something, I constantly see dolls and I'm like, oh, you're so unbelievably beautiful and I want you. So it's a mixture between, you know, ones that are owned by people and ones that are made by companies. Especially Fairyland, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a complete Fairyland addict, but there's times with, like, you know, these dolls where I see them and they're just so beautiful and amazing. Especially on Den of Angels, I constantly come across things and I'm just like, how have you done those? So yeah, just basically everyone, all of you are so talented and I love looking at your stuff, so I love the dolly community. Okay, Ghost. The one that got away. Was do any limited or rare dolls haunt you to this day? That's a tricky one. There's not any that I've kind of really kicked myself over. Not really, because I've always managed to find them, because I try and avoid looking at the limited dolls. I look at them for inspiration, but I generally try not to kind of focus too much on them, because otherwise you do go a bit mad being like, I want that doll so much. So it's not really something that's ever bothered me. It's mostly the outfits that actually get me when it's limited dolls, rather than the sculpt itself. Good hit. Freddy Krueger. What's your worst doll nightmare? Has it happened or not? I don't generally have doll nightmares, because if something breaks, I feel like I can actually replace it. There are enough of these dolls to be around, well, of my sculpts anyway, that I could replace them. It's normally if it's the face, you know, maybe the face is chipped or something, that would be when I get upset about it, but even still I can redo a face up, you know, these, you know, but that's maybe just me. I think if it was a sculpt that had been specifically painted by someone, I'd be much more upset, but because it's me, it doesn't matter, I can redo it. Jason I can't pronounce his name. It's Jason. One of the... I don't really watch horror movies. I'm so sorry. Have you ever made Halloween costumes for your dolls? I have. I did a full Alice in Wonderland themed one a couple of years ago, where I had Tweedledum, Tweedledee, Mad Hatter, Alice, and the Cheshire Cat. So I have done it, but I haven't done it for several years, and I feel like I really need to redo it. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'll do it maybe not this year, but maybe next year. Okay, Chucky. Have you ever been scared of dolls or a certain doll? Be honest. No. Even the modded, like some of the really kind of grotesque, like the kind of gruesome mods that you sometimes see, I've not really been bothered by them. I don't know. I think it's just because I deal with prosthetics all day, so it doesn't bother me. So I'm gonna have to say no for that one. But this prompt was really good fun, so tag, you are now it. And I hope to see all of your tags very, very soon. Catch you later. Bye.